Hello traders, welcome to 2026. In this video, we're going to be discussing professional portfolio management that is applicable to retail traders. Of course, we're not going to go into an institutional level because that is a whole different ball game, and that isn't really what we need to do as retail traders. But if you are able to apply what I tell you in this video, you will see a smoother equity curve, more consistent profitable months, and minimal downside. And we do this with a blended portfolio. So we mix strategies within one account rather than having one strategy for one account or just flat out one strategy. And one of the biggest misconceptions in trading is that people think you need one strategy, one asset, one time frame. And this just doesn't work on a longevity aspect. So if you take a lot of these retail concepts and you take them at face value, sure, you might have winning months, you might even be profitable, but that can be boosted by taking a little bit more of an advanced approach and thinking more like a portfolio manager and not just a retail trader. Because at the end of the day, we don't need to sacrifice profits, but we do need to protect downside, and we do need that consistency within the portfolio. So I run 4 strategies within one account. Now, all of this is verified. I send out the broker statements to the Discord. Now, the Discord is free. Obviously, you can pay if you want the signals and certain other things like education, but everyone can see my broker statements. I'm not hiding anything. So this is the public account. And I treat this exactly the same as I treat my other larger portfolios I do keep private. So already on the screen, you can see I've got many trades open, but all of them do different things. So let me explain to you the thought process and the reasoning behind the positions. Now, when I say reasoning, we're not going into the economics or the reasons for each trade on a core fundamental level. We're going into the reasons on why I've taken these positions on the portfolio in terms of spreads and diversification and strategies. So I've got positions on Aussie New Zealand, on the NASDAQ or the US 100, on pound Swiss and euro pound. I've also got another one on euro dollar, which I'll show you slightly later in the video. So Aussie New Zealand is a very typical swing trade. There was nothing overly specific about this trade. Again, this was sent as a signal to Elite Traders members. Now, as you can see, I did scale in and the trade is running very nicely so far. I've trailed stops. There isn't really much to this. It's a very bread and butter trade. It's what a lot of retail traders are used to. Stop loss, take profit, set the trade, let it run. Backed up by economic factors, of course, fundamental data, rate hikes, central bank policy, etc., etc. Now, this is a very standard trade, and this is what we do on a day-to-day basis. However, we move into a bit of a different aspect when we look at euro pound, not euro pound, if we look at pound Swiss and the US tech. There was also one on silver that I'm going to show you again slightly later in the video once I've explained the process and the approach behind this. So pound Swiss is a little bit different to what most retail traders are used to, because again, what most people see is stop loss, take profit, one strategy, and that's it. That's really all they consume. That's all they expect, and that's all they do. And again, that's great. Do what you want to do. But that isn't the most optimal way to trade. So what I've got going here is a long-term expression on the pound. I am very bearish on the UK economy and on the sterling. So rather than going in for one position with a stop loss, because I don't care in this specific trade, I don't care what happens next week. I don't care what happens tomorrow. I don't care what happens next month. This is a position I sit in for whether it takes months, maybe years if necessary. Now, of course, I don't actually want to hold this for years because it's a negative swap position, meaning I am paying to hold this trade. I've already lost 0.5% of my account just from holding. Now, the reason I'm not bothered about this is because I have other positions to offset this swap. So again, Aussie New Zealand, the swaps are positive, so I'm getting paid to hold. Euro dollar shorts, I'm paid to hold that one as well. So my swap positions are, or the swaps themselves are actually getting neutralized. And this is another aspect. When you think of a portfolio manager, it goes much deeper than just I'm going to place this trade with a stop loss and take profit. You need to account for every single mechanic that's going with it or running within your portfolio. So with this one, it's a case of yes, I'm paying, and yes, the trade is actually in a loss or a very small loss. So you can see I've got my average price right here. I am managing the position actively. So although yes, 3 positions out of 4 are losing, I'm actually not in that much drawdown, again, because I'm managing that average price. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, an average price is essentially your break-even level. Now, euro pound is very similar to the Aussie New Zealand. This trade is very bread and butter. You can see the stop loss is down here. We've got our entry, and we have actually no take profit because this is a trailing trade. So we're just going to trail stops until we are taken out in a profit or a loss. But again, this is a very standard, boring trade that we should all be used to by now. Now, the NASDAQ is very similar to the pound Swiss. This is one of those trades that I can just add in. Now, the reason I've got the NASDAQ is because I want exposure to tech specifically. I'm still very bullish on AI, although yes, there are talks of being in a bubble, etc. We're not going into that in this video. I want exposure to tech, and I want to be able to hold the S&P, sorry, not the S&P. I want to be able to hold the NASDAQ for a long-term trade. This isn't a trade that I'm expecting to profit from tomorrow or next week. This is a trade where I can add in on losing periods. So as you can see here, I've got this marked out, this measurement tool. So if the NASDAQ moves negative 20% or begins to move against my position, I have areas I can add in. And this is what we call a ladder or a DCA approach. So again, what this does is it moves down my average price the more I add in, and it smooths the equity curve. So for example, if a swing trade, or if I have a losing period with my swing strategy, I have this strategy that is running in profit. If my DCA strategy has a losing period, I have swing trades that are in profit. Now there are others, of course, as I said, there are 4 strategies running. So we've already discussed 2, which is the sort of shorter term DCA, which is like what we've got on pound Swiss, and we've got the standard swing trade that we've got on Aussie, New Zealand, and Euro pound. Then we've got the third one, which is what I just showed you on NASDAQ and actually what I did on silver. So let me show you the silver trade here. So what I did on silver, now again, to some people, this may look ridiculous. I put all of the thought process and the analysis in public. It was on Twitter, Instagram, Discord. I put it everywhere. So this did have a very, very methodical approach behind it. So I know it looks a little bit silly, again, to the people who aren't fully educated on this approach, but this is the third strategy that I deploy, which is basically trading a long-term idea. I am very, very bullish on silver. I love silver. I really do think we are going to see $100, $150, maybe even $200 at some point. Now, I don't have any interest in holding a swing trade up to that point. That doesn't really make much sense in my opinion. So what I did was set pending orders. So as you can see, there was pending orders from, this was 58 all the way down to 40. And then I decided to add more orders because I was so bullish on silver at this point. I decided, you know what, it's actually very unlikely that these lower positions are going to get triggered. And if they do, that's amazing. That's exactly what I want. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I set orders above with small position sizes. So as you can see right down here, if I just zoom in a little bit here, you can see they increase from 0.01 to 0.02. And again, this is managing that average price, avoiding a top heavy trade, meaning if we do end up seeing, or if we did end up seeing silver come down to 40 to 45, the higher positions wouldn't be heavily impacted. And then these lower, larger positions would offset the loss as we came into profit. And that's what I do to manage these positions. And of course, I did have a very strict stop out level and a way to manage this position. Again, we're not going to go into that. This isn't a strategy video, it's a portfolio video. Now, as you can see, the trade ran very, very nicely and ended up running, about 40%. When I say 40%, it was a 40% value increase on silver, not a 40% portfolio increase. So as you can see, scaled in, these pending orders got hit, and eventually I ended up getting out on this 40% move and cashed out right before a crash. But again, well, not a crash, heavy downside. It was like 16, 17% downside on silver after I cashed out. So this is what I mean. It was a long-term position that actually moved rapidly. It was much, much quicker than I thought it was going to be. So that's the third one. It's a case of, okay, we've got 3 strategies running. The fourth one is short-term. So the fourth one is a scalping strategy. Now I have a video on this and also my swing strategy on my channel. Feel free to check them out if you want to know exactly how I trade them. But what happens when I blend all of these strategies together is it's very, very unlikely that I have a big losing period. Of course, it could happen. I'm not writing that off. All trades or all strategies could end up being big losers, but that's very unlikely. All of these strategies are time tested, back tested, and so far they're on live accounts. As you can see, they work very, very well. So if one strategy is losing, it's very probable the other strategies will take up that loss and actually continue to run in profit. Now, again, because I have long-term positions like I had on silver, even if I do have, let's say 2, 3, 4 stop losses in, let's say 2 or 3 days, fine, but my equity curve is actually still positive because I have a long-term profitable position running. And if things get bad, if you are, I hope you're not, but if you are an emotional trader, you can cut this trade or the longer term trades to cover the losses and basically have a fresh start with an empty portfolio. Again, I wouldn't encourage that. I don't think that's a good idea, but I can't control what you do. So this is a great way to trade. Now I've got another one. This is a same DCA approach I showed you on silver and on pound Swiss, but it's a shorter term version. So I'm just basically just selling euro dollar. And again, I get paid to hold short positions. These aren't big positions. I'm not in a massive loss, although it looks like, a lot of red here. The portfolio is actually completely fine. There is no problems here whatsoever. So what I'm doing is just running this trade, managing the average price and letting this trade run. Because again, the longer I'm in the position, the more I'm paid, regardless of what price does. And I don't care what happens. As long as I'm in, I'm getting paid. No issues. So this trade is, again, it's a DCA, it's a mean reversion strategy. We're not going to go into it too far, but it's a very, very strong way to basically just say, okay, I'm going to enter here, manage the average price. I'm getting paid for the whole duration. When we do have that mean reversion, I will cash out and take the profits. So it's very, very simple. There's lots and lots of benefits to trading like this as well. So you can actually hedge positions. So let's say I was back in the long on silver, and let's just hypothetically say I was stuck in that 17% downside. The position would still be in profit, but that's obviously not good because I would have given back 17% worth of that price movement. So what I could do to hedge that move is actually go down onto my scalping strategy and trade off the VWAP and basically just short silver whilst I'm also in long silver on a longer term strategy. And this way, I can basically capture as much movement as I want to. If I don't want to be involved, that's fine. I can let the long-term positions do the heavy lifting like I did or like I am doing over the Christmas and New Year period. I'm not trading VWAP scalps because the market liquidity is so thin. There is no reason to. The probability is low. So I'm not doing any of this at the moment. All I'm doing is sitting in longer term positions that I'm happy to basically just hold and sit through. And the swaps base are almost even. They're even enough, or they're pretty much break even enough for me to not worry about them. So it's all good. So again, I'm paying negative swaps on euro pound, negative swaps on pound Swiss, but I'm getting paid positive swaps on Aussie New Zealand in euro dollar. So the swaps are fine. And this is one of those things that you can basically just do. Now, let's just flip or move the conversation to a slightly different aspect now, because one of the other things that we can't just ignore when I'm telling you all of this is that obviously it's very hard to find a profitable strategy to start with. People spend hours, days, months, weeks, even years testing and building and optimizing strategies. Now, I am not telling you that you can just start trading with 4 different strategies and all 4 will be working and profitable. Of course not. But the way I do, I've been trading for almost 8 years at this point. I have had the time and the experience to know what to do in certain situations, what not to do, how to deploy certain strategies at what times, etc., etc. I don't expect every one of you to have the same thing, but as you get there, you will see and you will start to understand how to move around the markets. So let's say you are a fundamental trader or a macro trader and you have an idea that the market isn't pricing in what you are seeing very clearly. Now, of course, it's very dangerous to fight the markets. But like on pound Swiss, I am very bearish on the pound. I think it's actually very overvalued. The market's in a downtrend overall on a long-term basis. So what's stopping me from just shorting? First of all, I'm following the trend, so the technicals are completely fine. Second of all, I'm following my own personal macro view. It could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But if I am wrong, at least I am with the trend. So there will be a point, or very likely, there will be a point where I can get out at minimal loss. And again, that is worst case scenario. I don't expect that to happen, but I am prepared for it. And again, this is just going back to that portfolio manager's view, not just a trader's view. Because what you've got to understand as a retail trader is you have multiple roles and jobs tied into one thing. So a retail trader, you think you sit at the charts, you trade, and that's it. That's not it. You are a risk manager, you are compliance, you are a trader, and you are an analyst, and maybe even client relations, etc., etc. There's many roles that come with being a retail trader, and you cannot just say, I'm a trader, I'm going to sit at the charts, because that is, first of all, quite naive and ignorant. And second of all, it's just not going to end well long term. Now, of course, again, as I said at the start of the video, there are exceptions. There are people that have a strategy and that's all they do and it works out very well. But I would say on the majority basis for the majority of traders, that's not the way to move. I really do think that having a blended portfolio with different strategies that have different approaches that work in different market regimes is the best way to go. So again, let's say that there is a massive risk off move. Okay, great. Silver, I'm not actually in silver anymore, but at the time, silver would have done very well. And all of these positions would have been fine. Pound Swiss, probably not so great. Sorry, Pound Swiss would have done great. However, some of the other positions may not, like NASDAQ. So I'm hedged in different ways. However, what I can, again, then do is go down to timeframes. I can go and use a VWAP scalping strategy, so I can just benefit from that short-term risk off momentum or risk on. Again, it really depends on what situation we're talking about. But I can basically move with any market regime because I have different strategies for different purposes, for different times, and different reasons. So I know this has been a bit of maybe a boring video for some of you, but I wanted to make this video because, again, it's, at the time of recording, it's the 30th of December. We're coming into 2026. And I wanted to be able to share how I basically minimize my losses as much as possible on a month-to-month basis by just deploying a very simple approach. Now, it might sound complicated, I get it, but it's really not. So all I'm doing is doing my long-term research, again, silver, etc. And then I'm moving down timeframes and I'm saying, okay, day to day, again, in normal market conditions, obviously, again, excluding Christmas and New Year, I can trade London session here, or I can go over and trade New York session here. Or if, if that strategy is losing for the day, okay, well, I've got some swing positions in profit. I've got some position trades in profit. I'm doing fine. I've got no stress. I'm cool. So this is the thing. A lot of retail traders have pressure, again, because they have one strategy for all market regimes, which normally, I'd say like 95% of the time is going to be a bad idea. Because I haven't, in, again, my 8 years of trading, I haven't found a single strategy that works in every single market condition, ranging bullish trend, bearish trend, and also very volatile markets. It's very, very difficult to get a strategy like that unless you are scalping or have some sort of crazy algo. So if you would like to follow my trades and you want to learn exactly how I do all of this and learn the strategies, the thought process, learn macroeconomics and all of these things, you can join Elite Traders. It's a 7-day free trial. Or if you just want to come and hang out with other traders, you can join the free version of the Discord. So you get weekly analysis, weekly webinars, you get analysis, and you get a free chat room as well. Obviously, VIP members get significantly more. But I do teach basically this style of trading, which is beyond trading and into portfolio management and becoming almost a risk manager, in the sense that trading cannot be viewed as just placing trades. You have to view it as a business and you have to take care of everything. So it's like if you started a barber shop and said, I want to cut hair. Okay, cool. You might be good at cutting hair, but get a job as a barber. Don't open a barber shop if you don't want to have to deal with budgets, tax, compliance. I don't know what compliance barbers have, but cleaning materials. So obviously you can't reuse the same razors for people, etc., etc. It's the same as retail trading. You cannot be a retail trader. So I just want to look at candlesticks, because that is just missing so many different points, so many aspects you are ignoring. And all of those things might work temporarily, but in the long run, I guarantee it's going to end badly. So guys, this is it. I know, again, it's been a little bit of a different video, maybe a bit more boring, but I did want to just express some of these views and hopefully give you guys some value and some understanding between my thought process, my trading, and maybe see if you could apply it as well. Of course, not financial advice, obviously backtest and do your own research, but yeah, guys, have a good one. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the 2026, and I will see you very soon.